Should be. Yep, we're live.
Yeah.
Yay.
Sweet. Okay. Should we start with the questions then?
Yeah. I don't
How does
have.
time function in the book?
Well, it goes back and forth. Like it goes to like when Romata. I don't know if I'm saying their names right. Oh man. Like they're married, and then it goes back to when they're kids, and then it goes like back to when their kids are young, and then when they're old, and then back to when they're young. Like it's just really interesting. But it flowed really well. It doesn't. I wasn't super confused by it. Like I kind of thought it was interesting the way.
I was at the start a little bit confused because she was like, Roy Mata was coming to see Hemi, and she was like, I'd always loved him and all that kind of stuff, but they weren't like married. And then I realized it's because they weren't married yet.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I was a little confused, but once you get it, like
yeah.
I kind of
like Hemi's dad died, or mum died, and then she returned. She had no like reason to return. She just felt like she needed to, and then realized that the mum had died, and then like the white lady left Hemi, and then Roy Mata married him.
I was so confused the whole time. For me, it was very complicated.
Like a lot of flashbacks, like when Toko.
Yeah.
Toko.
Like when he talked about his like fishing story. It just jumps back and forth, and I can never really tell if like Toko and Manu, is that how you say it? His brother. Like I can't tell if they're like old or young in some chapters sometimes, because it seems like in the sister Tanji.
Moana?
Yeah. Like it seems like they're always old, and then Toko and Manu are always young.
Young.
Yeah.
Like I mean, there's like an age gap, but some chapters when they didn't. Yeah, I like couldn't tell if it was a story when they're younger, if they're like a little older or something. So that was kind of cool.
That's true. She kind of like did that to make sure that she was like telling the stories of like why they are, like who they are, and like what led them to be there, and what they're doing, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I thought
I was lost the whole time. So for me, like Toko was always young.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt.
And Mary was kind of like young as well all the time. I was just so confused with her because she had Toko when she was young, right? And then
Mary's old. Oh, it starts off when she's young, when Roy Mata was saying when they used to go to school. But then she's like the same age as her, so they're like old.
She's just like handicapped, so like mentally she's like a child.
Oh, that makes more sense now.
Yeah.
That's why Toko was like kind of messed up, and that's why they were like real angry that she got pregnant, because they're like, well, someone took advantage of her.
Oh, that makes sense, because like every chapter they talk like, oh, the way she walks, the way she sings. I was like, oh my gosh, is she like, is she gonna ever grow up?
No, like, that was that's why. Yeah, they're all mad because, when like she got pregnant, they were like, oh, it's like he was taking advantage of a child because she just has like the mental ability of like a child.
But she was raped, right? She didn't like.
Well, basically, because she didn't know what she was doing.
Yeah, that's how that's what I got when I read that. Man.
No, you know?
That was interesting.
I was a little confused by the timeline, a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't tell like how long ago some things had happened, like the sorry, don't make fun of my pronunciation. The
Teope?
Yeah. Like I didn't quite understand like how long ago that had been since, like how long ago it like got taken over.
Oh, when they're talking about like, was it Ruben or something? What's his
Yeah.
name? And he was like protesting it.
Yeah. Like
Uh-huh.
maybe it's just because I forgot or like missed it, but yeah, I was kind of like confused about in the timeline where like that had happened. If it had happened like years before like their story, or if it, I don't know. But
Well, I think it had been a few years before because it was talking about the war.
yeah.
So I don't know which war it was.
Is this a well?
Is that
Is this
true
like a
story?
fictional?
Well, kind of, but like that actually happened, that stuff.
Oh, they like based it off stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, part of it could be like
How,
it's
how long ago?
not well. I don't know which war it's talking about. Probably Second World War though. So like not too long ago.
I liked it that she jumped around because the author's like super poetic. Like I feel like she could just get away with it because the way she wrote was
Yeah.
like she can really put an image in your head. I don't know, it's just she's just very, very poetic. So I just thought it was super cool that she could like I don't know, she got away with it. I think normally I'd be confused, but I was like, this is cool. I don't know. I like the way that she wrote. It's an artsy book.
Yeah, so she was trying to like get across what kind of happened here in New Zealand with like colonization and how bad it was. I was supposed to, well, I did still read, but I started reading and then my dad came home and we had like this super long discussion about it.
Oh yeah, your dad is professor. Is he a history professor?
He actually did his PhD in Māori history, but from where we're from, in the middle of the North Island.
That's
That's
cool.
cool.
So he teaches. He's a teacher. He's not. But I mean, he's got his doctorate in that. There it is.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
That's sick.
Yeah.
What part of New Zealand do you live?
In Wellington. So it's kind of like a few hours north from here in Taranaki. There's like there was a huge thing about it. There's a lot that goes in behind like there's a lot that's happened that it's talking about.
Yeah.
It's like colonization.
It made
You being influenced by that time? Like,
What's that?
are you guys still being influenced by the people who came in? You know, like I don't know, was that Europeans or?
Yeah, the British. Yeah, heck yeah. It's real like Western here now.
Oh.
Like really Western.
huh.
They like colonized it pretty well. Like badly, like for the people, but like destroying the culture.
That's sad.
Yeah.
It makes
Which
me
part is worse, like the north or the south? Like which part kept the culture intact, sort of?
East Coast is pretty good. That's where you'll see like a lot of the Kiwis that are at school. They can speak Māori and like or at the village and that. They're from the East Coast.
Oh, that's cool.
So they've like been raised speaking it and stuff.
Where are you? Like
The south of the North Island.
oh, okay.
So at the very bottom. So
Would
they're
you
all
say
like 4 hours drive from me.
there?
Huh?
Is it pretty westernized there?
Yeah, it's a city.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely. It's like I'm in the capital city, and there's like a lot of history here about that too. But just like all that happened,
That's
but like with the Treaty of Waitangi being signed, and like there's like land settlements where like you know how it was they'd been confiscated their land.
Uh-huh.
They like it was just taken from them. Like the government's just like, yeah, that's ours now for like this purpose.
It made me sad. It made me feel guilty.
I was so mad when I was reading that.
Like when I read the back of the book, I was like nervous to read it because I thought it'd make me feel way guilty. Because it's like it was like, oh, they're building golf courses and blah blah blah. And my family owns a golf course here in
No.
Houston, and it made I don't know, it made me feel like such the bad guy. To me, like golf is my like culture and like livelihood in such a weird way. So I was like,
Yeah, you should.
but after I read
too.
it, I was like, oh, I'm not the bad guy. It's fine.
You stole that land. No.
We didn't steal you. We got it first, but
The government
it's our
stole it
land.
and then you
People
bought
tried
it
to
off
steal
them.
it from us. So
Yeah, it's like it just made me think like, what can you do? Like someone has to do something, that kind of stuff. But like it's kind of irreversible now. Like this people's land is just people have bought it. So like, what are you gonna do? Just like kick all the Europeans out? And say, hey, you can't live here anymore.
yeah,
Like we're gonna give you like this much for your land, and then get out. Like you can't really do that now, and like a lot of the history that's happened, you can't reverse it. It's just happened. You can just
the only
try and
place
build
that
from there.
happens here is like to the Native Americans and stuff. And a lot of them like get pushed out of their reservations and stuff. But yeah, I don't really understand that like aspect like in America as much. Well, besides in Hawaii, they kind of get.
It's
Yeah,
like
that
interesting how they
happens
say like progress has a price, and the way they think, and they think that everybody will understand what like the purpose of everything they're doing. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like thinking that if I just come to your place and kick you out, and claim that it's for progress, everything will be fine. Everybody will understand. It's kind of sad.
It's like really sad, and because like when I was talking to, in the book as well, like it says discuss all land in Potiki, and like that's like everything. That's what Dad was saying. The land is like it's your economic basis. Like if you don't have that, what can you do?
Yeah.
You can't like because they use it to like make food and all that kind of stuff. Well, if they don't have that, then they have to go and like work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the way they were saying like, oh, we're gonna use the ocean to make them see what you guys see over here. Bring the animals from the sea. It's pretty much like destroying the land and the ocean. It's really bad. But they don't see it like, people from the island see it.
Yeah.
There is a part in the book that it says like, if you care for the earth, the earth will care for you.
Yeah, I like that quote.
Like I like that quote so much. It's just like it's something that I believe too. We back in Brazil we believe the same thing. You feel like if you treat the nature, the earth mother, or the mother earth, she's gonna take care of you. That's something that we have in common.
Yeah, I like that quote a lot. Or like they said it literally like 10 or 12 times throughout the book, but they're like everything that we need is here.
Yeah.
So many times. And it just like I love that idea of just like you have your family and you have your land and that's just like all you need. Or the dad was saying that like people are like everything. Like he just had such like Hemi just had a good like mentality about like
family.
Oh yeah, his chapter was pretty cool. Really.
Love and just like all you need is just like.
But that's why I always think back to that. Like they could do it then. Like why can't we? Why do we need all of this stuff? Because like Tucker was saying, like we're in poverty, but we're not really in poverty. We're like in poverty in the eyes of like Westerners. Like they think we don't have anything, but we have everything we need, and that's everything to us. And that's like the land and the sea.
Yeah, we've turned into a stuck-up culture, like a greedy like people.
Well,
that's ourselves when like we don't have a new phone or whatever, like material thing. But then there's like people in third world countries that they're just so grateful to have a piece of bread that day. That it's just sad. The idea of
like how much money they spend on like
yeah,
making movies and
yeah.
like music videos and music and like who cares?
Yeah. Like there's just a big theme of gratitude in the book. Like they're just super grateful for everything.
Yeah.
And they are very like get over things so easily. Like when they're a cemetery and like meeting house burnt down or like and slid off. They got over it so well.
Yeah,
Like they just don't hold
it's
grudge.
like crazy like how bad that is to do something like that. That's why they like
And then-
retaliated because. But yeah, there's like my dad was telling me as well. There's one of the guys from Taranaki, one of the chiefs. He was like the first one to start like a passive like. That's what he was saying. Something about like a passive resistance, and like
uh-huh.
Gandhi and like Martin Luther read his stuff from here
That's nice.
when they protested against like and how he would protest against the Europeans. Like they used to come and like have their what was it? When you are like marking out the points where people's like land blocks, they just like
Uh-huh.
go and like take them out and then just sit there. It's like no, like this is ours. But they just come in with their armies and be like, nah, we got guns, get out.
That's crazy.
That's interesting. You know what I like about your culture is just because you guys are very like connected to the ancestors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your ancestors more like can I say like a angel? Like not like an angel, like a
Spirit
guard
guide.
angel? A what?
Spirit guide.
A spirit guide, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like they do the
It's-
carvings and stuff, the
yeah.
Potiki.
Yeah. And it's
'Cause
like
that's
it's a
what-
way
that's-
to remind you about them, like to remember them. We
Yeah,
don't
that's
have
all that
that
it
back
is.
in
Like
Brazil.
the meeting house, it's all your ancestors. Like you can point to like see on my roof how it's got like the thingies. Like you could have that in the meeting house and be like, well, that's this person. That's this person. They're holding up this roof for us.
See that? Like in the book, do you relate to any of that?
What's that?
Do you relate to like how they are in the book?
Oh yeah, I was like reading. I was like, man, it must be like weird for a non-Maori to read this because like even the words that like it was saying, like you guys wouldn't understand what it was saying.
Yeah,
But I could like
I was like
understand
the
it.
whole time I was reading, I was like Jordan would probably know how to.
Like there's a section. I think I've got the quote actually, and I can share it with you.
So it's pretty like accurate, like how you.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's not how I was raised though. Definitely not.
Yeah, I feel though.
Which kind of sucks, but it's
Do you speak Maori? Maori?
a little bit.
Okay.
But my dad teaches it, so if there was like anything I didn't understand, he would tell me. I just ask him like porangi. They keep saying like, "Oh, Mary's porangi."
Uh-huh.
I just like, Dad, what's that? He's like, "What's mad?" It means she's mad, like crazy.
Yeah.
But crap, I don't know if I wrote it out. Wow. Oh, that's it. He aha te mea nui I te ao. He tangata, he tangata, he tangata. That's just like, what is the most important thing? Like, what is the biggest thing? And it's the people, the people, the people.
Yeah. That's cool. This book changed my mentality. I was like, I want to live like these people.
Right?
Like I was so inspired. It does.
So how cool is it that they could just like
Is
no
that
one.
the poem at the end that you just read?
What's that?
Was that the poem at the very end of the book?
No.
Oh.
This was like chapter 10. It said it.
Oh.
It said, what did I write? Oh, it was Hemi's chapter, and he's like he's lost his job. He was being given knowledge on behalf of the people, and they all trusted him with that knowledge. And he's like he said he always knew that he would return to the land. And then
Something.
he was talking about like, okay, well we've lost this, but what's the most important thing? The people, the people, the people.
Yeah.
So even though he like
I saw
lost
that
his
the
job,
I saw that the father was very like focus on the land, and when he lost his job, he was like, okay, I'm gonna have more time to work in the land. But I actually didn't understand the mother points of view. Was she like, did she want progress like the westerns, or did she
No,
want to keep the land that she
No,
as it
nobody
as it
like
was?
wanted the land taken over.
Oh, okay. I was kind of confused with her. I kind of didn't understand her
Sometimes
point.
you can't tell who's talking. Like they'll have dialogue back and forth without saying.
oh yeah,
So sometimes I'd be a little confused, like who they're talking to. But
Yeah. Something that I really liked was like they're saying like the stories had changed and our lives has changed. We are living under the machines, under a changing landscape, which can change you, shift the insides of you. What's pretty good, what's pretty cool, because this right here changes you a lot as well.
yeah,
Like any kind of technology change you. And it was like I got so related because after I got like phones like this one, smartphones, I pretty much look at them more than I talk to people,
yeah.
like I check my phone more than I go outside and I
It's
talk to
sad.
people.
Did you guys see Wall-E, the Pixar movie?
hmm
That's how I just feel like we're all gonna end up. You know what I mean? Like machines just taking over everyone's lives, and
Cinder, we're gonna have like
yeah, or some futuristic like the planet. Anyway, Earth gets dried up, and we're all living in space. And machines take over our life. No, I'm just kidding.
the future is not that far.
Jeez.
Oh man, I like that quote too a lot.
Well, yeah, because it's like how she's talking about like related to the land. Like
Mhm.
if the land changes, we change. We are what is in front of us, like what we can do, what's around us that limits us to like what we are able to do, which is kind of in like pointing back to this, like because of this now, our limits have changed. Like our things are different. Like doing nothing because I'm like, oh, I could be learning something. I could be like watching how to do this and then like go out and do it, or like I could be like trying to do something here or like learning a new skill. It's like I always just feel like that, and it's just because of this and like the internet, just like or just like even computer.
Yeah, it's definitely
But
good.
like but then it's so simple.
It has some benefits, but at the same time, it's like it's so harmful for our culture. I don't know, for or day by day. I don't
I feel
know.
like it's
It's
caused more like mental health problems. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people have social anxiety and just like use it to like get away and like and like like social media causes a lot of like anxiety for people if you don't get enough likes or I don't know. Yeah, it's like we are really driven by
I
machines.
can see I can see that.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that.
That's an interesting like correlation. Just like how we use the word machine. So this is the machine too,
Yeah.
and it changes our land or ourselves and like our environment.
Yeah. What are the other questions on there? I don't have it.
We've been pretty much
Discuss the
answering them.
role.
Oh, it's pretty much all of them.
Well,
Yeah, I think. Well, we
we
didn't
were talking
answer
about
the second one, did we?
yeah, their land and what characters relationship. Like him, he said he's like I've always been like a land person. Like I've
Yeah.
always felt like drawn to the land. Like I need to be there, and I can like personally I feel like something similar.
I think Toko. How do you say Toko?
Cool.
Toko.
So it's the vowels are the same
What?
as Spanish. The vowels are the same as Spanish.
Oh,
Oh,
Toko.
Coco.
Toko. Oh, okay.
I or
Like he was super cool because like he was such an old soul and he had like clairvoyant. Like he could see into the future and he just was like so like sure of himself. I think he was really cool.
Even with his disabilities, he had like a lot of gifts, you know.
Yeah, like that
He
the
he was so caring.
yeah, where like they gave him like a door to the new meeting house and like so he could get up in there and stuff. They're they're like they're like most of the time children don't speak, but like Toko could speak like the old kid or whatever. Like everyone listened to him and stuff. I don't know. He's just cool because he's just like wise.
It was cool that he brought everyone together.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like especially when he died.
And then the grandma, she showed a lot of like resilience. Like when the meeting house burnt down and she was the only one like talking and doing stuff because everyone was just like quiet and just like sorrowful, you know. She just like kept
That's
pushing
also
forward.
that's also like cultural though, because like you're supposed to wait for your elders to like speak and like say stuff.
Oh yeah. And then yeah, the quote was like, "Oh, I realize why like grandma's speaking, and it's because she's gone through like loss and something else."
And that's
Yeah.
why we value like so much their experience. That's like oral tradition. Like that's why you tell like the stories of your ancestors so you can like learn from them and you can be connected to them. And that's why also it's also interesting because the book Potiki, that just means youngest in the family.
Oh,
And
so it's
normally
about Toko, pretty much.
yeah, it is. That's why at the end, the like last couple chapters like called Potiki. So it's about him and like what he did for them as the youngest. Because even like New Zealand, we see ourselves as the Potiki of the like the islands. So as the youngest, like we're like not like a servant to, but like we will listen to our elders, like Hawaii or Tahiti, because they're older than us.
Yeah.
Oh.
As far as like where the people went, like first they were like Hawaii, Rarotonga, Tahiti, and then they spread out. And like Maori's like one of the most pure of the Polynesian languages. That's like it's because it's the oldest.
I love it. That's sick.
Yeah, so that's why like our words are super long. We still have the K in it, whereas Hawaii they took it out. Like we call it Hawaiki. You know the Okina, the apostrophe. It's a
Uh-huh.
K in Maori, or it should have been a K. They're just like because it's old, it's lazier, or like they're just trying to find shortcuts. Same as English, same thing we do. So yeah, Maori is like the most purest Polynesian language.
Do you feel
Okay.
like the culture's still intact where you guys still have like respect for the elders? Like, are you guys still like? Does that make
Yeah,
sense? Because I feel
yeah,
like the American thing is like people, like kids will like talk back to their like parents or you know what I mean? It's more like I'm right and you're wrong, and like there's not as much like respect. But like, do you think that like is still intact a little bit?
depends. Because there's like I don't know.
Like you can't generalize, I guess.
Yeah, it's hard to generalize it.
Yeah. But like I know like Spanish culture and stuff, like they're super like family oriented and like they take care of their old and are like respectful to their old and
Yeah,
elderly.
we definitely
But
like.
like Americans, they're just brats. I think. I don't know. But that's interesting.
It's just because I guess, in my point of view, it's just because when you're young, like you're pretty much kicked out of your house when you're 18, right? You have to like,
Yeah. Well,
but
not
not for Latins. We stay at home until forever. Like even when you get married, sometimes
yeah.
you stay in your family's house,
That's
which is pretty weird for me right now.
That happens a
I
lot
kind of
here.
like that idea though. I'm like, that's kind of cool. Well, I don't know how I feel about it now because that's just not how I was raised. But like,
No,
look,
it's
I
like
was like, everyone just so supportive of each other and they just like depend on each other. I
it's
think that,
kind of weird. Like I cannot see my mom like coming to my place and tell me what to do. It's like I'm not a kid anymore. It's like
yeah. I
my own
don't think we
decision.
can handle it well because we're not cultured that way. I don't know. I don't know. It was cool, like reading about it.
Yeah. I guess
What do
that's it.
you? What messages do you feel? Oh, I was gonna say the last two questions.
Oh,
What
sorry.
messages do you find in the novel? Oh, we talked about that. Yeah, family, culture,
Charity.
Religion.
Unity again. I always say unity, but I just, yeah.
A lot of like nature. Like you guys care so much for your land. It was very impressed.
What's
I was
that
very-
word? Did you guys take like GE 110 or whatever? Where they,
yeah.
what's that word that they always use where like you work together or whatever? I don't know.
Work together.
I don't know.
Like, do you guys have to do those field trips where like
Yeah,
handed like a log to each other or whatever?
we did the rocks.
Yeah, like what's that word called? Just the sense of like,
Taken
I
care of. Malama.
I can't remember. I won't think of it. But it's kind of,
Malama's the one where it's like taken care of, like stewardship.
yes, stewardship, but they had like a Hawaii one. I don't know. But yeah, stewardship.
Malama.
Huh? My friend's laughing at me.
Oh,
Yeah, stewardship.
okay, I'm just making sure that we
Covered.
talked for. Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
If you guys are happy with what you've said.
Okay.
Can you send me those quotes too, please?
What?
I will
Send
give
me
it to
the
you.
quotes.